All right, we are back. Wait, I've gone on to the wrong thing. We are back. Here we go. I'm all out of sorts. It's an exciting day today. It's an exciting game, and as you can probably hear, I am incredibly ill. Storm Dara has come and smashed the east of England. It is very cold, very windy, very rainy, and I am ill. So I apologise for that in advance, but I have to keep the energy up because this game is a massive one, very exciting one, and one I've been looking forward to for a couple of weeks. Not just because of the implications of it. Obviously, it's a London derby. We always have a very feisty affair when we play Tottenham Hotspur, but also the fact that we are in such a good stride and up against a Spurs team that is very, very depleted and a Spurs team that is very, very out of form at the moment because of those depletions. Now, we'll kind of talk about the team lineups in a second, and I'm going to kind of highlight where Tottenham are missing players because it's very interesting and could be the reason why we kind of win this game. And one specific absentee, if he is still out, is kind of massive for them in terms of not being able to play the way that they want to. Let me just get my chat up and we can move on with the stream. There we go, get the chat up. Say hello if you're in chat. Boom. I think my chat box is on the actual screen. It's not working, but there we go. Yeah, so we've got about half an hour until the lineups usually get released. They've been releasing them a bit earlier in recent times, which is okay. Kind of throwing me off my game, but yeah, we'll kind of talk about this. Let's firstly kind of highlight. I'm actually going to get the table up here. Let's kind of highlight the implications of this game. So firstly, we are obviously in second place, and as of right now, Tottenham are down in 11th. Obviously they have games in hand over all of the teams above them. Now, I don't think that's very indicative of how this is going to go. Usually when you see second versus 11th, you think, well, this is going to be quite easy for us. And I think a lot of people are kind of underestimating Spurs and thinking that this will be quite an easy game. I don't think it will be an easy game. I think we'll win it. Spoiler alert, I do think we'll win. But I don't think it'll be as elementary as most people have kind of made out to be. Now, regardless of results around us, pretty much, if Arsenal win by a large margin, that changes, but I doubt that they will. They are currently actually losing to Fulham, so our close neighbours, close rivals, are actually doing us a favour there. Regardless of whether we of results around us, if we win this game, we stay second pretty much, because we've got a better goal difference than Arsenal. So even if they do win that, they probably won't be able to leapfrog us. And yeah, and this is, as I said, this is in this run that we've got. This is one of the hardest games we've got. I think we've obviously got through Villa. We've got Spurs next, and then most of our opponents are like 11th and below for the next like 5 or 6 games. So this could be the start of even though Enzo Maresca is being very, very demure about it, and none of us are mentioning it. This could low-key be the start of a title push, which is kind of crazy considering where we were last season, and where we were the season before that as well. So I'll get into the lineups in a second. I don't think so. Other people have been saying this about the 90 minutes before kickoff thing. I don't think that's actually true. I think it's just for the games which aren't 3 p.m. kickoffs. They just released them a bit earlier, because on the 3 p.m. kickoffs they still release them at 2. So not sure what goes on there, but we'll kind of get into this right now. Let's switch over to this. Right, I'm going to do my predicted lineup first because obviously I'll get that out of the way before they release the lineups. This is a bit interesting because we do have a couple of injuries. Obviously, Reece James is injured, as always. Amari Kellyman is injured, as he kind of has been for the majority of the season. But the main one is Wesley Fofana, obviously going down with a hamstring issue last game. So that changes our back line up a bit. Obviously, we're going to be rotating heavily from the game that we just played, and because we basically have rotated heavily for that game. So first of all, we know for a fact that Robert Sanchez is starting. Enzo Maresca has said that in his interviews. He said that he is starting, which is kind of a shame because I think Jurgensen was really, really good, and has been pretty much every time he's put a Chelsea shirt on. For the back line, let's go to this is interesting because I'm not really doing predicted lineup, but I kind of want to do what I want to see. And I would genuinely put Caicedo back at right back for this game. simply because of the way I want to set up our midfield. Um, though Gusto will probably play here and probably can play here and probably will, I would play Caicedo at the right back spot. Our centre back pairing will be, if I can find him, Cole in the left centre back spot as always, but next to him will be Benoit Badiashile because, as I said, Fofana is injured. I don't see Axel Disasi or Tosin taking this place, and Badiashile is, by my money, the best other centre back we have apart from those two. In the left back spot, we shall see Marc Cucurella doing another game. I think he is tireless, and I genuinely do not believe that this would be a game where we drop our left back for Vega, considering how big of a game it is. So I'll be putting in Cucurella. Now the midfield is the reason why I've put Caicedo in this right back spot, because I will assume, because he was rested, that Romeo Lavia comes back into this holding role. I think that we obviously need Cole Palmer in the lineup if I can find him. Cole Palmer obviously starts in his kind of right-sided 10 role, but the main one is that I think that Enzo absolutely needs to start against this Tottenham team because of how high their line is and how we are going to need to look for the early long ball. Especially to players like Jackson, who, spoiler alert, will be in the starting 11. Enzo is one of the best in the league at doing that first time early ball. I think he has to play, despite them all kind of playing recently and kind of their fitness not being the greatest. I think he has to play. I simply just do not see us moving from this. Maybe, as I said, maybe Lavia won't play and we see Caicedo again, we see Gusto. That's definitely a possibility. I would personally do this so we can get the Caicedo-Lavia duo in the middle again. I think that will be very important against a Tottenham team that is very good at counter-attacking and very speedy on the transition, and they need to break that up. For the front three and the final players in here, though, I'm going to be putting in a combination that makes me really, really excited, actually. I think we're going to see Neto on this right-hand side. Even though Madueke was really, really good in the last game, I think Neto will rotate in. We get to see Sancho on the opposite flank, I would imagine. This could be Mudryk, but he's still ill. He was ill. He was out for illness that last game, so he could play here. I'm going to be putting Sancho. I think this is fine. And then, of course, Nicholas Jackson will go up top. Now, I think this right-hand side specifically, why have I rotated that? Whoops. I think this right-hand side specifically, with Palmer, Neto, and Jackson, is going to be, if we win this game comfortably, this will be why. Because this diagonal ball from Enzo in his own half to one of these two up top, and then Palmer obviously being able to play off the back of them, I think that's just going to be the deadliest thing against this Spurs team, which we know play a high line. Now, this is the thing we always talk about whenever we play Spurs. Despite the personnel, despite the injuries, despite the opposition, they play the same way. They are one of the most stubborn teams when it comes to not adapting their play style. Now, I think that Spurs will play the exact same way against us, and I have got a list here of the injuries that they do have. Let me get it up real quick. So they're currently without Ben Davies, who is a centre-back option for them, who's just had a hamstring issue in the last game. They're without Mickey van der Ven, who has a thigh issue, which is the biggest one, because the reason we found it so easy to break down Tottenham in that crazy game where they went down to 9 men was because they lost Mickey van der Ven. Now, the reason why they play this highline style and why it's so good for them and they can play it comfortably is because Mickey van der Ven's recovery pace is unlike anything we've ever seen in the Premier League before. He is absolutely rapid, and he allows them to play that style and kind of be able to make the recoveries if things go wrong. He's not there, so I think that this will be one of those situations where they can't really recover from those situations if they do lose the ball in transition, which we are very, very good at doing, is winning the ball in transition and then playing on the transition. I think that that's going to spell massive danger for them. They've obviously got Romero back from a toe problem, but he might not start. They usually kind of let players kind of integrate, but if they do play the strongest back two that they can, I imagine it'll be Dragusin and Romero as a centre-back partnership, which would be strong for them, but obviously not the strongest without Mickey van der Ven. They're also without Vicario, who's always been good for them, so they've been playing Fraser Forster instead. They're without Richarlison, apparently, and also Odegaard is not playing. Mikey Moore was ill, and he may be recovered in time, I'm not sure. And the other massive one is Rodrigo Bentancur is suspended for this game, so he cannot play in the midfield, he would be another one that would be able to stop our transitions. So they are very, very depleted. I would suggest, yeah, maybe we do see again. I said that before. I think Madueke played really really well. Obviously, he got man of the match in the last game. I think he could play with Neto on the left, but I would personally suggest that he wouldn't play 2 games in a row so quickly after each other, especially after the kind of the criticism, the public criticism that Enzo had about him training, which was obviously a bit tongue in cheek, but there we go. Um, I've done this really quickly. It's the my thing is my camera is zoomed in. Why has it done that? I haven't got my remote. Why does it do this? One of these days I'll figure out why this does this and I'll be able to stop it from doing that. It randomly flips as well. I'm not really sure why it does that. There we go. I'm also going to be getting some new stuff in the background, as I kind of mentioned on the community post, by the way. So that'll be coming soon. So yeah, that's definitely a setup we could see, Madueke and Neto, and I generally think that that would be really really good against this Spurs team. But I personally would keep things rotating, keep the team fresh as much as we can, despite these really important players like Caicedo and Enzo needing to play pretty much every game, and obviously Palmer. Um, yeah, that's something I was going to highlight. So Spurs have been a bit suspect from set pieces this season, and that is again due to those injuries that they've been having to their centre backs. Now we obviously saw Dean Huijsen, I think it's pronounced. I apologise if I've messed that up. I don't know how it's pronounced. We saw him score a header from a situation like that, where the near post, in their last game against Bournemouth, which they lost 1-0. And yeah, so that's definitely an option. We obviously saw Disasi score a header in our last game, and Enzo's delivery in our last game from corners was absolutely superb. Hopefully he can keep that up, and maybe we get a Benoit Badiashile bullet header. That would be good. Maybe we see Jackson get a near post header if we've kind of seen him been doing that at times. But yeah, so I think this game will follow a similar pattern to what we've kind of been seeing whenever we face Spurs. Well, they'll play their high line, they'll try and keep possession, they'll try and break on us quickly with Son and Kulusevski, that type of thing. And it'll just be a matter of, can we time the ball in behind, stay onside, and get goals with Jackson and Neto? I think that Neto will get. I don't know what I want to say for a score prediction, but I reckon Neto will get at least 2 goal contributions, whether that's 2 assists, 2 goals, or a goal and an assist. I think that he's going to be the beneficiary if he does play. I think he's going to be the main one that kind of gets the freedom from this. Jackson, I reckon, will score. Palmer will probably get a goal contribution too, probably an assist. I want to say that this game will be 3-1, but we have this weird thing of letting Spurs be a bit get into games, and obviously we haven't got our first choice. We haven't got our first choice back line because Wes is out. So I'm gonna say quite pessimistically that we win this game 3-2. I think Spurs will get a couple of goals. It'll probably be Son who'll probably get a goal. He always does. Kulusevski, again, another one that always seems to pop up against us. So maybe that'll happen. Has the lineup come out yet? I haven't been checking. Let me check. On the Twitter, because they usually kind of release them around now, about 15 minutes before I usually expect them to. I can't find the Chelsea account now. So it's really sad because I used to have the push notifications for Chelsea, and suddenly they've just stopped working. I'm really not sure why. No, we have not released the lineups yet. 2 minutes. Right, so in that case, I don't really know what else we can kind of speak about in terms of this. I just kind of I wait for the lineups to come out. They usually come out quite quickly. But yeah, let's. I guess I could run a poll or something like that. But yeah, so hang on. Well, you can actually talk about our next game as well whilst I'm here. Because this thing, I suspect we won't rotate too much for this game, just because this is such an important one. We want to have our first choice team. We are playing. Okay, so that's what I was thinking. So we are playing Astana next in the Conference League. So I expect we'll play a very strong team in this game and then rotate pretty much absolutely everyone for the Astana game, because let's be honest, Astana aren't going to kind of cause us many issues. Let's be real, they're not like the strongest opposition, so I expect us to play like that entirely rotated side that we kind of saw against Noah, where we get Felix and Nkunku and Vega in the team, get Jurgensen in the team, we get Tosin and Disasi in the team, We might actually even see Joshua Chempong play at right back now that his contract situation seems to be getting sorted out. Probably see Tyreek George. Probably see Keanu Dyer come off the bench, that type of thing. Did I bang it? Did I get it right? Oh yeah, I just seen it's come out. So, let me get this up real quick. Let me move to this screen let's get this screen fast. Have to just get this in here. Boom. Now this is, there you go. So here's the lineup we have. I'll make this a little bit bigger for you guys, just to see. We do have Sanchez, Caicedo in the right back role. On the go. Mystic Mono strikes again. Buddy Shield, Colwill, that was kind of expected. We get Lavia back in the lineup after he was rested. Enzo captaining the side. Palmer, Sancho, and Neto, and Jackson. Let's look at the bench. Is there anything interesting on the bench? Still no Mudryk, so Mudryk is still ill, so that's interesting. Jurgensen obviously on the bench, Tosin on the bench, DCC on the bench, Gusto, Felix Anunkunku. Madueke, I will assume, will come on, and we get hopefully another bench appearance for Dewsbury Hall, which would be nice. The weird thing was we've kind of been seeing that there's been rumours surrounding January and maybe us recalling Leslie Ugachukwu from his loan from Southampton because he's just not getting game time. Obviously, there's rumours that Casadei might go out. There's rumours that there's another midfielder, Carney, obviously. God, this is weird. The fact that we have so many midfielders that Carney, Chukwuemeka of all players just goes out of my head. Absolutely insane. Our depth is crazy. Yeah, Carney obviously looks like another one that might be on the way out. But yeah, so I got that completely right. So that's fun. We'll move this. I want to try and move this off the screen, but I can't really. Let's put you here. So again, let's kind of just move the team into the way that it will kind of function. And this is a bit of a weird one, right? Because usually, obviously, we'd see Caicedo play in this inverted role. We kind of expect him to do that. But with Cucurella playing on this left-hand side, it poses a weird kind of question with Badia Shield. Now, usually we want to see Colwill obviously in the centre role, so you'd expect him to come over to the right-hand side, but him being a left footer on this right-hand side is a bit weird, and I'm not sure if we'd see it. What I reckon we'll actually see is us playing more of an actual, like, normal 4 at the back with Cucurella going high. So we can get these two as like 2 centre-backs pushed up high against the halfway line. Caicedo obviously operating in these kind of areas as he kind of roams. Palmer obviously going central when he can. Fernandez obviously going out wide to the left as well, sometimes to support Sancho and Cuckoo, playing that interchange. I think like a lot of the time what we'll probably actually see is Enzo dropping a bit deeper. As I said, we want to be getting those first time kind of balls from the halfway line over when we're in possession, if we can do that, like in the transition. So yeah, that's going to be a bit odd. We will probably, for the most part, we'll just probably play this back 3 that we've kind of been seeing, but we could also see us shift the other way and Caicedo kind of play as a right back or as a right centre back, because we've seen that in the past. We've seen Cucurella get high and Colwill kind of come into this left-sided role with Benoit here, or actually it would probably be the other way around if we were going to do that, with Benoit out wide and Colwill in the centre, and Caicedo could drop back into this right centre-back role. We might see that with obviously Lavia coming across and Cuckoo inverting. That's definitely an option that we could do. Will we do that? Probably not, considering how good Caicedo is as a midfielder, and we'll probably see him in the centre, but this could be the way that we set up. Obviously, then we'd get the rotation the other way, which would make Palmer be on the right side and Enzo be a little bit further up. But it just kind of depends on how Enzo sees this game going. If we need more recovery pace and more defensive stability, then maybe we play Caicedo as this right centre back. But I don't think that'll happen, to be honest. That's just another option. For the most part, I would expect it to be a back 3 with those 3 there, and then Lavia and Caicedo in this role. So we get the 3-4-3, or as we usually do with Palmer in this kind of advanced role, we get that 3-3-4. So that's probably what we're going to do. thank you guys for hanging out with the stream. I haven't really got more to say about this game. I think it's gonna be a really good game, and as I said, I'll be live tweeting on my Twitter, um, as always for my match reactions. So follow me over there if you don't already. I imagine the my links are in the description. I think they should be. I'm terrible at putting them in there, so they might be in there, they might not. But there we go. As I said, in the preamble, I think we are in a title race. If we win this game, we definitely have the ability to be in a title race, just because, as I said, the next few games after this one are much easier in terms of league position for the teams that we face. We should be able to keep collecting wins, especially on this wave of momentum that we do have. Obviously, our fan base and Enzo Maresca has been very demure about it, and we're kind of not saying that it's a title race, because that's not our expectation for this season. Our expectation is top four. If we get top four, we're happy. That's the main thing. We want to get the Champions League. We want to be able to qualify for that competition. Hopefully get another trophy as well. We should probably be winning the Conference League. If we're not winning the Conference League, it will be a bit of a disappointment. So hopefully we win that. But yeah, I think top four, basically getting top four is our aim, so we can get like the sponsorships and the deals, and like obviously there's the rumored Jordan deal about like circling around. We need to get those type of things over the line in terms of business. And then obviously qualify for the Champions League, get to be playing in the Champions League next season would be excellent. Back where we belong, because we haven't been there for a while. But yeah, it depends. Yeah, I think that, well, I don't think it's particularly City. I think City are kind of a little bit behind us nowadays. With them not having Rodri for the entire season, I really don't think that they're going to be putting up a title challenge anytime soon. Arsenal is a different story. I think Arsenal are definitely capable, and we know that they've been getting this kind of string of just getting the goals by any ways necessary, whether that be a set piece or a scrappy goal or from open play. They can get goals from anywhere. They can kind of get back into games that they don't look like they're going to be winning. In fact, let's actually quickly check if the I don't know if the second half is kicked off between those two yet. I think that has, and I think Arsenal have gone ahead. No, they haven't gone ahead. They have got a goal back though. William Saliba. So William Saliba, I guarantee that is a goal from it's been a corner, it's been cleared out to the edge of the box or something, and Havertz has put it onto William Saliba's head, or if it's like a flick on from a corner. Guarantee that's what that goal is. They don't score from anything other than corners nowadays. It's crazy. They've turned to Stoke City, but they get goals, and that's admirable. They get the goals. Yeah, and we've also got the Club World Cup coming up as well. I don't know if you guys have been seeing the Twitter beef that's been going on between Flamengo fans and Chelsea fans. It's really funny. I love Brazilians, man. They're so funny. I have one of my online friends is a Brazilian, and he kind of keeps me updated on the football over there. And it's just so funny seeing the memes and shit from Flamengo fans. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out as ever. I'll leave you guys to do your pre-match rituals. I'm going to go do my pre-match ritual and try and recover from this illness before I eventually perish. But yeah, we'll get onto this game. And as I said, this is a really big one, a really exciting one. And as I all said, I'll be live tweeting on my Twitter, my reactions and stuff like that. So yeah, I haven't worked out how to do. I haven't worked out the logistics of doing watch-alongs yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. We're improving. So yeah, as I said, thank you guys for hanging out. I don't have an outro for these things anymore, because I haven't put the outro, so I just have to kind of say peace and yeah, enjoy your pre-match ambles. Let's hope that we win. Come on, you Blues.